Hello, my name is Nabila Binti Adnan. So today I would like to recall my old memories and experiences in reading. There are a few questions that I need to answer, so stay tuned. The first question is, when the first time you learned how to read at a very young age, where, or home, in what language? Well, I first learned how to read as in kindergarten, and I learned in Malay language. Okay, the next one is, who helped you? Who guided you in reading? Well, of course, the teachers. Okay, and next, what did you do when reading? Reading aloud? Has anyone corrected your reading aloud pronunciation? And what kind of correction? Well, I still remember that we learn by using book that we call Bacalah Anakku. First, the teacher will play the CD, then we listen to the audio or watch the video, and next we need to read aloud. And the teachers will correct our pronunciation by repeating our mistakes or repeating the word again. Okay, next. Do you have any unique experiences when you learn to read? I have, yes. I still remember that we need to sing what we read so that we remember. Okay, next. How did you learn to read in English? Were you trained to read when you were in primary and secondary schools? Well, I learned to read in English during primary school. We were trained to read, and the teachers will ask us to read aloud together or read it voluntarily. And when we were young, visualizations were used in abundance because at that time we are not well acquainted with written text. It helps us to associate a picture with the written word and get us interested in books. As we are getting older and wiser, the reading is getting harder and harder. We saw a lot of decoration and representational visuals when we were young, but as we grow older, visualizations in our textbooks become more sophisticated and become more data-centric. In my secondary schools, the way I read is totally different than the primary school. It totally changed, and that is how I learned to read. Next, what strategies did you do while you were reading in primary school or secondary school? Okay, my strategies for reading during primary school are to read it aloud and visualizing it. I try to imagine what the story tries to tell us. However, during my secondary school, my strategies change where I don't read aloud anymore and focus on the important points. I will identify the main idea and predicting what will happen. Sometimes I make inferences from the text. As we know, inferences are made to make connections, draw conclusions, information in the text, and get around difficult vocabulary. Okay, next. Did you change your reading strategies when you went to primary school? Not that much, because I don't know much about reading strategies. Well, next. Did you change your reading strategies when you went to secondary school? Any additional strategies? When I was in secondary school, my reading strategies totally changed. I will read the thesis statement first to get the gist of the article or book, then identify the main idea and make a prediction. Besides, I also question the text on how or why or when it's happened. Next, what techniques did you use when reading? What about when you are in the university now? Are your reading strategies changing again and again? Yes, my reading strategies keep on changing as I learn the new method, tips and tricks. It's getting better and clearer. In university, I used to read the text critically, as accepting everything in the text is not good practice. With these strategies, we understand better what the author tries to deliver. Okay, next. What techniques do you use now when reading? I use the skimming and scanning method most of the time. I will look for main ideas and supporting details, but I will look for only one keyword at one time, predicting what will happen and summarize the whole article that I have read. Next. When you read materials online, do you use the same techniques and strategies? Yes, I use the same method as it can help me understand better. I use skimming and scanning method, and I will look for the main ideas and supporting details too. and predicting what will happen and summarize the article that I have read. Okay, next, do you use the same strategies when you read in Bahasa Melayu and English? Explain. Yes, because I think both text and passage structure is the same. The only different thing is the language. Both Malay and English passages will have introduction, body, conclusion, thesis statement, supporting details and example. And that is the reason why I use the same strategies, because it is same. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you for your time. See you when I see you. Goodbye.